Hello students, I am Radha Kadam. Now we are going to see 6th Science Chapter 10 Motion and Measurement of Distances.
Evolution of transportation. Every evolution just like human evolution of transportation. Every evolution just like the humankind has undergone trials and tribulations through time. So, evolution has followed relentlessly to reach the ever increasing levels of efficiency. Means we are trying to be better, means as here you are able to see the chart how step by step we are increasing, or we are what we can say means modifying ourselves to be a good transportation. So presently we take for granted our ability to move from one place to another, nearby or distant. But we have had to evolve our means of transport slowly to where it is today. Means we have just now we can move at every anywhere. Okay, it may be a small distance, it may be the long distance, but this flow, okay, this flow is very slow. Nowadays we are moving, we are able to move from means in a different countries in the means through the sky with the aeroplanes. But this flow, this development in the transportation is very slow. So many modes have evolved and many more have gone extinct. During the Stone Age,
So let us consider units and measurements. Ram went to the vegetable market with his mother to get some groceries for home. So there, when he was noticing the rates, his mother asked the sailor to give her the kilogram of tomatoes. So the sailor took a kilo stone and placed it in a pan, and in the other pan he placed the tomatoes. And when the both pans balanced, he took the tomatoes and gave it to Ram's mother. So this is very common sense that we can see when we go to a market. So here what we can understand is that while buying vegetables we measure their mass. And in other cases, like before going to the different place, we measure the distance between them and time it will take for us to reach there. Since we measure different things in our daily life, we can say that measurement is very important for us. Since we measure the different things in our daily life, we can say that measurement very important for us. But to measure quantity like mass, we need a unit. Here kilogram is unit for mass. And to measure the length or distance, we use a unit like a meter and not kilogram. So each quantity has its own units. So let us discuss more on the units and measurements. Measurement is defined as the comparison of an unknown quantity with known quantity pre-selected value of the same quantity, and the unit that predefined or pre-selected value. So suppose we have potato of 2 kg, then 2 is the measure of amount and kg is its unit. In simple terms, when we are measuring the mass of potatoes, suppose we have suppose we have tomatoes is 2 kg, then 2 is measure amount, kg is units. And here what we are doing, here we are comparing the mass of unknown quantity with the known quantity of the kilogram. Now let us know about the unit and its significance. So the process in which we say how large or small a physical quantity is as compared to a basic reference quantity to the same kind. we say it as measurement. And when we say 10 kilograms or 10 kg, we actually means 10 times the definite predetermined weight called as a kilogram. The value 10 or any other value associated before kg represents the amount or the quantity of that physical quantity. For example, we say 12 kg, 13 kg, 15 kg. So the value 10, 12, 13, 50. So they represent the amount of quantity present when they compare to the kilogram stone. Disc. In our school, we usually share the desk with our classmates, but sometimes we see that somebody is using a larger share of the desk and we end up arguing with him or her. During such situations, many a time we measure the length of the desk and draw a line exactly on the middle. Correct, don't we? So by this we separate the desk into two equal halves and settle the argument with our friends. But what if we do not have the measuring scale, a ruler or a tape to measure the length? तो क्या करेंगे हम? So just see, can we still measure the length of the desk without using our standard measuring device? At that time, we are doing some different ways to measure it. So let us take a set of gilli and danda to measure the length of this desk as shown. If the length of the desk is equal to 2 danda length and 2 gilli lengths, then we can easily draw a line into the middle of the desk by dividing it exactly into two equal halves with one gilli and one danda. So, but if we use a different set of the gillis and dandas, so then the measuring length may not be so easy. For example, if small portion of the length which is less than 1 gilli is left out, then we won't be able to measure the small portion, can we? So measuring with gilli and danda may look fun but actually is more difficult and confusing. Okay, so now instead of using a gilli and danda, let us use a string of some length to measure the desk. Using string, we can measure almost any length of the folding by folding the string into the half and quarter of its length. Correct, isn't it? So, we will measure the length of the desk in the string length. Suppose we can say that the desk is 3.5 string length. So, using a string, we can measure the length of the desk without any difficulty, but we might get incorrect reading. Suppose we lost the string with which we have measured, then getting a string of that exactly equal length would be really very difficult. So, to get more accurate reading and avoid all the confusion, it's always better to use a standard measuring device, a meter scale. So, a meter scale, though not compulsory to measure the length, it always more convenient use and gives more accurate results. Meter scale is a standard instrument to measure length. Has followed relentlessly to ever increasing levels of efficiency. During the Stone Age, we walked and ran upon the earth and swam and floated in the river or the seas. By 2019, we have a spacecraft, aeroplane, bullet train, self-balanced transport, etc. So children are dependent on parents to carry them around before they start walking. As children, we would just hope on our little strollers and they roam around with our parents. As we grow up, we become familiar with different modes of transportation. So, bicycle, aeroplanes, trains, some personal vehicles are there, two-wheelers, four-wheelers, then boats. So, all are these the modes of transport. There are many modes of transport that allow us to move from one place to another or place to place. Depending on the destination, there are various ways to transport. Means first we need to identify the destination and then we have to find out the best mode for the transport. If there are roads and highways, one can travel by land. If the distance is too long, transporting by air is the best option. And if one want to visit an Iceland, then traveling by water is appropriate. So let us learn about the various modes of land transport. During the early days, horse-driven carriage was predominant. The bicycle was invented in the 19th century to commute short distances. Another important mode of transportation is trains which operate on rails. Cars are motor or engine vehicles that are self-propelled and do not operate on rails. Heavy duty vehicles such as trucks and lorry are used to transport the cargo. A bus is a road vehicle which is used to carry the passengers. So let us learn about the mode of transport involving water. So water transport is a watercraft carrying passengers or cargoes. The ship transport can be over any distance by boat, ship, sailboats, over oceans and lakes. Transport by water is cheaper than transport by air. So let us learn about the air transports in details.